Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Satisfactory. How you doing today, guys? How's it going? How are you on this fine Saturday, Friday, Sunday morning, wherever the hell you are on this great big planet of ours? Hope you're having a great morning. Hey, everyone, we are back. We're back in Satisfactory, and we are looking back on what I've got done this week. So last week, we started our journey. Where did it go? We started our journey. I had this organized. Did you know that? We started our journey on towards our fused frames here. Fused modular frames. So yeah, this is all going to be in situ. You know, we're going to rebuild. I have a, I could easily put down a prefab for the modular frames, but I think we're going to do another high rise. But these guys here do need aluminum frames, and they need nitrogen. Well, I didn't have enough aluminum. I didn't have enough of these available. It's Saturday morning, and my word's not working. So we are going to have to do an expansion on our aluminum production, which means we need to bring in more bauxite. Thus, we have a new rail line stretching all the way out to here. Let's get out of spectator cam here and catch ourselves from falling. So yeah, we have this track following ourselves all the way towards the west. We come into a roundabout, and then we have our bauxite node right there. So we're just going to have a nice little off station here. And we can load up that bauxite and send it back down the line. Interesting thing being over here, one, there's another good bauxite. I believe that is a pure hanging out on the cliff over there. If we, there we go. Oh, look at that. There's all, that's oil underneath. Bauxite. Yeah, so there's another pure bauxite node there, so we're nice and close to it. But you can see down there, there is our new fuel plant. We're literally hovering over the Western fuel. And quite frankly, almost every, falling, still falling. Thank you. Almost every playthrough, for some reason or the other, always ends up with a spiral here for the trains, and as you can see, I've kind of already set myself up for doing that. Because it does cut out. I mean, you can see where we're now in relation to other parts. There's the kind of factory city that we're building over there, so that's where we're going to be setting up our fused frames and whatnot. And right now, if our trains kind of have to do a lot of double backing. So I am very, very likely going to be putting in another spiral here. So basically, yeah, this rail is going to become a connection point. It's going to allow me to go over here so I can take this roundabout. And that's why I like using the roundabouts, so I can take this roundabout off here, go grab that bauxite there, take this roundabout. Of course, I got that bauxite, and then we can follow this roundabout all the way out. Okay, so that's kind of where we are at. I guess I don't need this anymore, so we can get rid of this marker here, so we'll just remove the marker. There we go. Why did you not? I guess it takes a second for it to disappear. Are you gone? No. All right, so what the plan is today is to finish getting this trapped or tapped. So we're going to have to get some stations in. I must have been half asleep when I... Oh, wow. That is quite the conference gathering down there. Because that... Yeah, no, I guess, yeah, I still have enough room for the stations down there. What is with these guys? All right, we're going to have to do a little bit of clearing out here. So we'll just drop some bad mojo, some juju. Come on. Toss, toss. And let's see what happens when we go boom, boom. Oh, well, it didn't get him. It just made him mad. Here, how about that? Yep, that got him. Yeah, so I just need to get a station. Let's get we can get the bauxite going, and then we can set up the aluminum. That's kind of what my plan is today, is to get those aluminum casings rolling. once I have the aluminum casings rolling, then I can go start looking at tapping into the other stuff. What's hilarious is I don't act... Oh, look at that. Is there a bunch of limestone over here? Look at all the limestone. Why is there limestone over here? Normal limestone? Oh, that's interesting. I've never noticed that there's limestone over here. Yeah, so what other things can we do? Yeah, we could come off of here. So this is actually a pretty decent location. It's very elevated here. But it does give me lots of connection to other places. Okay, cool. Let's get ourselves back over there. Let me make sure I use jetpack. There we go. Lots of radioactive rockies around here, too. Ooh, things to blow up. Okay, just because I'm holding dynamite does not mean I need to use the dynamite. Alright, seriously, guys? Why are you... They're back. Okay, well, let's... Oh, this guy saw me. Got one. So this guy's packing. All right. Never mind getting distracted by these guys. Also, change to your hoverpack. Thank you. Okay, so we don't want that there. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is kind of maneuver into a station. So we're going to need to set up a bit of a platform here so we can grab off of there. We're going to go let's go 7 across. That should miss the... Yep, that misses the node there. So we can put the node right there. And then we can go that way. So I'm going to have the station running this kind of direction here. Like that. Hi, guys. Did you want something? Huh? Did you want something? Here. Would you want that? Guess you didn't want that. Who else? Well, they do... Well, don't run away. You're the ones who are so freaking... Oh, you got saved by the tree. Anyone down there? Nope. Okay. So yes, I want to set the station up along here, I'm thinking. Like that. Okay, so we're going to have some track. So I'm going to pull this one first so I can get the kind of minimum distance I need. So that's as far over this way as I can go. We're going to have... I'm just going to get it lined up here. So we're going to say that's the station's worth. That is the freight platform. That means for the actual corner, I can go all the way to there. So I'm going to also put in... Right, we have to turn them now. They keep changing the rules on the rails. Okay, so that is basically the sharpness. I think that's drifting over this way too far. So we are going to do it differently. We are going to come over by through to here. Like that. I'm going to throw some more platforms over here. And then we're going to come around. Yes, I know the track is hanging over the edge for dear life, but I just want to get this bit of track here laid in, and then I'll go in and kind of fill in the rest of the structural aspects. There we go. And then I can bring that track back in. The thing, of course, with trains are big, and they do need a minimal set of platforms, and in this case it is always going to be 6 platforms per 180. The tightest turn you can make is a 6x6 radius essentially 6x6 platform circle. I mean, it's a train. Of course, it's going to not have a great turning radius. Okay, so now we need some stations here. So I'm going to grab myself a train station. Yes, I know. I am going to put that right there. I thought I was doing it backward for a second, but no, my train is actually going in this direction. It is such a rare... Nope, see, there's a problem. Well, see, there's your problem. I need to come over by one. And this is, you know, this is why we lay things out, and this is why I'm very happy that we don't lose materials when we remove them. Otherwise, I would be constantly running out of supplies. There we go. Let's try that, and then we can come back around. No. Come around. There you go. So we can get again into our 6x6. So it's 1, 2, 3 platforms. 1, 2, 3 platforms. So it is within the, you know, within that 6x6. Okay, we can drop that into there. Pop that down to there. And this is going to be station 1 of the bauxite lines. So I only need the one platform here. We're going to flip it around. Of course, it says surface is too uneven because there's a little bit overhanging, but I hit H to turn it into a hologram, and it stops caring about that altogether because it ends a new and different reality mode. And then I can do that, and then, hey, you are finally back. Hold this for me, will you? Aww. Okay, let's try that again. Here. Hey, can you hold this for me? Close enough. All right. Distraction. Yay! Let's finish getting this platform in. So now that I know exactly where I want the platform, we can bring the track out here, bring the track out to here. Like so. I'll fill this in. And then we are going to clean up these corners here. Kind of my favorite way, just such a great way of getting angled corners in and to whatever angle you want. So I do is a beam in freeform mode. So I look at plant the first place, and then we look at where we want the target to go, and you can see that it is stretching itself out there, which is great. I'm going to put a beam there. Going to grab a beam. So again, look at the corner. Look at the corner. Where are you? Come on out. Where are you? Oh, you're way over there. Okay. And then what we can do is we can use our nudging. Honestly, the best thing they ever added to the game was the ability to nudge stuff. And now with the infinite nudging, it really is an incredibly powerful building. Because then I can do that. And we get this really nice, sharp, clean corner like that. So again, we take our platform, we snap it into the middle. It's going to want to snap directly into the center of it. We hit H. We use our nudge key, and it's 4 nudges. 4 nudges because it's 8 nudges, or it's divided into 8, the platforms. We can put one right there. Corner lines perfectly up to corner. Do the same thing. Move it by 4. Move it by 4. Corner matches perfectly to corner. We could even take this beam out now. And all we need to do is fill in whatever little gaps are remaining. Not that button. There we go. And there you go. We got a reasonably nice, clean kind of edge there. All right. Moving back here. We're just about to get the rest of the bauxite here. Let's rename this thing here now. What are we going to call this? We'll call this Cliff Side Box Depot 1. No, exclamation 1. There we go. Because as you know, that is over there is the kind of gonna be always the aluminum, and that's what I've got it going here, is that I want to draw in the bauxite from these nodes, and that's why I built this lovely track. It's not an easy way placed it, by the way, to get a track through. These arches here, whatever they're going on over here, the rib cages, whatever, really can make it challenging for getting a nice kind of wide, easy track through. The reason I did it off camera is it did take me a few attempts. Okay, let's finish getting tracks. So we are going to come to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then we can plug in, or we can go to there, but that's going to be short enough. Too short, so we'll just go like to that, and then the guys can come in here. Okay, let's get some signals up. At least around here, when I go back, I'll have to do some other signaling. What do we got here? So we're gonna need, let's say, a block signal. Right here. I'm going to flip it so that it's in the inside. So that's a new thing with the block signals, is that we can flip it to either side by hitting R. So we have left side mode, right side mode, and that I believe was a 1.1 update. If I use my mouse wheel, of course, I can change it what direction the track is actually traveling, so you can see how the arrow flips. And then R flips it what side it's on the track, which is really quite nice, because sometimes you just don't want it hanging out there. It's nice to kind of tuck it on the inside like this, so I can put a block signal right there. We can come around to the other side. We're going to flip it around, so we have the exit. Going to keep the block signal on the inside, just like that. Okay, I'm going to rebuild the curvatures here. Yep, just like that. So we're going to grab a track segment. There we go. Yeah, the spline handling on the tracks is so much. Everything, just literally everything about the game is better than it was previously. Okay, this needs to be a pass signal. We're going to put a block signal on the outside going that way, just to give the pass signal some assistance. Gonna need a block signal here. Gonna need to rebuild this curve here, because again, I need to put the split in a different location. So we're gonna grab our block signal, and now it's not snapping to that center line, which happens to pass right through the hypertube, but we can now flip this guy over to there. There we go. So that's cleared that up. That's cleaned that one up. We're going to need to do the same thing here. Like this. Again, rebuild the track in, grab our block signal. That way we can place it wherever we want. Let's flip it back to the inside. Probably for driving purposes, it should be on this side. I know the other one's not. We're going to put that one there. It's getting an awful lot of purple along here. We don't want the purple. What the different colors are telling me is what section belongs to what section. So we are going to need to do some isolating, so you can see that this is just this little section here. That's this little section there. This loop here, you can see how this is all one color. And that's what's causing these errors in the signals, is that it's not defined where this actual area is. So if we go here, finish that off, close that off like that, and then we can grab our block signal again, right there. And we do what we did last time. So again, I'll hit R so it flips over there. So you can see how many block signals are currently blinking. You know, pretty much all of them, because they're all being influenced by this purple section here. But if we now start breaking it in half, you can see that one's cleared up. That one won't clear up because it's going this way. This one won't clear up because it doesn't have a clear defined path going through here. That actually tells me I should probably have this one as a path. Right here. There we go, pass signal. We can convert this to a pass signal. The reason I'm converting it to a pass signal is because the train can either go that way or it can go that way, so I'd like it to make that decision. It's still not happy. And it won't be happy because we still have this big kind of uninterrupted loop going through here. So we're going to need to put in a signal. Let's make sure we're going in the right direction like that. I'm going to tuck it on the inside. So we're going to put a block signal right there. That has immediately opened that up. So that's all fixed up. These guys are still having some problems. Not sure why. I'll have to go have a look at them. Yeah, that pass signal should be fine. It's going to be him. I think he's the problem. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at what's going on with him. Let's get a pass signal locked in on this side here. Or block signal. That's good. And I just always like to have a signal coming out of the station. Just to make sure that this is all cleared up. Okay. So, nope, we need to keep that in our thing. So this is fine. These guys are all fine. So these ones are all cleared up now. So what is your issue over here? Why are you struggling? If I put it where the tracks come back together. What if I go like that? No. What if I change you to a block signal? No, it's not happy about something along here. Now, what is it? You guys aren't connected over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that. I can hear the tracks trying to fix themselves. Okay. But still. Why? Why? Oh, you're going the wrong way. Okay, I know why. Watch your arrows, folks. That will get you. So let's swing this guy to the outside. The problem is that the arrow was going in the wrong direction. No, it's still. Huh. That is kind of strange behavior. Is it? No, I got that, bro. What if I'm just gonna throw? No. What is your guys' deal? What do you got to say for yourself, Mister? Signal loops itself. No, it doesn't, you lying bastard. Huh. You should be breaking color right here. Almost feels like something's not connected where it should be. Train go around, right? Let's grab a transport. Just want to make sure that there's actually nothing affecting the train here, that we can, drive through. Drive through. Whee! Whee! Yeah, that works. Okay. You know, every time you think you're starting to get a handle on these signals, man, they just decide that they're going to give you nothing but grief. Okay. So let's see. If I come in right about here with the block signal. That's got that isolated. That's clear there. Honestly, I don't really need a pass signal here, do I? Yeah, I don't even need a signal. No, that's fine. Yeah, just break it up into quarters. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Each little section here is isolated from each other section. So even if a train is going that way and a train wants to go that way, it's not going to have to wait long. Perfect. The reason you use pass signals and not just all block signals is that if there's an alternate route for a train to go, so if this signal wasn't here, that signal wasn't there, it was maybe way down there, that would block this entire line, including this one. So if we look at the color here, anything that blocks this section because you can see how they're the same color here. So those sections block are one block, hence the block signal. What the pass signal will do is that if, say, this block went all the way down there or just even to there, but there's still a train sitting right here, maybe the line's busy, whatever's going on, for some odd reason your train's just sitting here. Even if a train could, and it wants to go this way, it wouldn't be able to get into the block. It's being denied entry into the block right here. However, a pass signal, so if I flip that to a pass signal, let's see if it stays functioning. Perfect, so it stays running there. So what the pass signal does, instead of just saying, hey, is there anyone in my block? Is there anything in my block? It says, okay, where am I going? Am I going that way or am I going that way? Okay, well, the train wants to go that way. Is there anything blocking this particular line, this path? Is this path blocked or is this path free? It doesn't care. There could be 50 trains. There could be a 25 train pileup right there. As long as it's on the other side of that signal line, that color change right there, it'll still allow this train to go through. Even if there is something actually parked right there, as long as this path here is clear, that train can go through. If this is blocked off, if a block signal, the whole thing shuts down. A pass signal will still look for the free path. If a train's going that way, there's nothing you can do about it. But if it's going to go this way, the pass signal will allow you to go. And that has cleaned that up. So I now have that functioning pass signal. The only problem with pass signals I find is that the trains like to slow down just before they kind of get to them. So if you have a block signal really close to a pass signal, the train's going to pretty much stop at the block signal, creep forward until it gets to the this signal. Notice that this is saying, no, you shall not pass. It will say that because it doesn't know which way the traffic is going to go. Once a train's come into the system or into the intersection under its influence of control, it has to basically slow down, upload its information to that signal. The signal will then determine where it can go, and then it'll either stay blocked or it'll allow the train to proceed. That means the train's going to slow down coming in through here. If we turn this into a block signal, on the other hand, it don't care. As long as there's nothing, all it's doing, it's constantly checking, is there something in my section? No. Green light. Come down here at 150, whatever, 120, and just go along your merry little way. It doesn't care. Pass signals need to bring the trains to a little bit of a stop, and it won't get the reporting in until it's past the last block signal. So the train would have to get past this point before the signal would change over. Let's get this back into a path here and get it flipped back to this side of the track. There we go. So the other kind of thing is that you want to make sure that you've got a little bit of distance so that the signal has a time to process. So yeah, pad signals can be a bit of a pain. They can slow things down, but they can keep your traffic moving, theoretically. Okay, so there we go there. Let's stop yammering about the train stuff here. I need to get now the bauxite picked up. So we are going to do our same cutoff corner here. Actually, no, not yet. I'm not going to do... Where are you? Hey, buddy. Go join your friends. Wrong button. Oh, Lord, hit the button you mean to hit. Okay. Let's get up some goo. Critter guts. Was that everybody's internal organs? Nope, there's more internal organs over here. There remains anyway. They look like little shell things. Yep, okay. All right, so now I want to get that tapped. So we can grab a wall here. Oops, that's not the button I meant. I wanted to do that. Drop this guy down to the ground. Let's see how close to the ground we can get without going under the ground. Oh, that's... There we go. Right, like... Okay, we can zoom this out. Yeah, that'll... should give us a decent foundation. Actually, you know what? I could probably just come out from here. Yeah, we'll just come out from here. We'll go across. Go across. And then we can come back here. Like that. Excellent. Let's get our Mark II miner. That's what I thought. I'm missing some portable miners, but it will snap to the node. That's all what I'm really trying to double check. Portable miners, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just need to go into special here. Grab myself a little crafting bench. We'll throw you down right there. We'll get our feet back on the floor. And make a cut. Oh, that is the wrong thing. Don't want one of those. I want one of these. There we go. Little equipment workshop. Hey, look, portable miners. Bang a couple of those out. Bang a couple of those out. There we go. That's better. Sorry, just give me half a second here. There we go. And good morning to our viewer. And there we go. Okay. Sorry, just doing something off screen here. So I've talked about in the past how the YouTube stream monitor does weird things. It says that we've been streaming now for 37 minutes and 59, so 38 minutes. Which, yeah, when you take in the, stream starting soon and all that business, yes, we have indeed been streaming for about 40 minutes now. It's still on the stream starting soon screen. Like, that's what it's showing me for the monitor. Don't get that. I mean, clearly you guys are watching. Because I am monitoring it on a different, monitoring the channel on a different location, as I've said before. So I can see what you guys are seeing. So I'm just, watching it as a generic person watching YouTube. So I can see that, about 5-second delay between what I do here. So if I circle the mouse, now I see it circling on the other screen. So that is the length of the delay. Why that says start streaming soon, I don't know. Okay, let's get back to work here. Okay, so we got our portable miners. We need to get our miner into place. Not under special, it is under production. Grab our miner, and which way do I want the house to face, or the hut to face? And I think we're gonna face the hut that way. I'm gonna pull, I don't know if I'm gonna leave the wall there or not. Anyway, but we want to go grab our mining hut. Mining hut, there's Mr. Mining Hut. And doesn't matter where it is as long as the orientation is correct, because we can nudge it to our heart's content. I keep saying it. Yes, I know. I'm starting to sound like a broken record here. Okay, for you younger folks, a broken record. Records used to be on vinyl, and, you know, when they were getting broken, they would skip, they get scratches, and they'd start repeating themselves. So that's hence the expression, you sound like a broken record, because you just keep saying the same line over and over. Sorry. I'm having a little fun there. I totally even forgot what I was doing. Never mind. Moving on. Having a nice day. La la la. Dropping these things in place. Ha la la la. Okay, so that is going to work out for me. I like that. That's good. We look at that. Even got beams right here. So nope, that's a basic wall. I want a beam. There's a beam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the corner right there and take the corner right there. You can see that just nicely slides past. Not a matching angle, but close enough to an angle. So we can tuck this guy in right here. That went in a little high because it grabbed off the wall there. So you want to be careful of that. Can I have a beam? There's a beam. So yeah, you want to make sure you're catching the platform, not any kind of walls or anything. There we go. Now we can grab our foundations. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, perfect in the corner. Drop a single down. Do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drop that into place. And then we can start filling in. So these guys definitely cannot be tucked in there. So we'll just go boop and fill it out like that. Probably have a little tiny gap underneath there. Yeah, right there. The track kind of covers it, but I know it's there. I can't stand it. Even if I never see it again in 1,000 years, I'll know it's there and it will bother me. Okay. So we're going to need to get some power over there. And yes, I do know that the stations have power lines. Hell, this one is even in a nice location here. I'm just trying to keep that separate. I want to keep everything, lights and power, kind of flowing along this line here, or actual power towers, which I'll probably string when I got, you know, just for some decorative time, but functionality. That way I can operate all of the lights. So all these little station and track lights there can be operated off of a single light master control switch. Would you go away? I turned your marker off. Okay, so power is coming down to here. I do need to send the power down to there, but I think what I'm going to do here, the easiest thing for me to do is to grab a power line, tuck myself underneath here. So I'm going to have it attached to the floor like so, and then I'm just going to use the nudge until that line is nicely and perfectly hidden within the pole. So there's a connection running all the way through the inside of the pole to something now hiding underneath this pavement. I will have to temporarily remove this. Okay, and so there's that little power bit. So it's right there. We can grab a little tap off right there, and I'm just going to put it in the corner. So now if I grab this foundation, if I grab, okay, I'm gonna have to do this from up here because I can't see what I'm doing. We are going to grab this foundation. I think I want the 1 meter. There we go. We can put that right there. And now I have a energized line that I can stretch back that way. So I can grab this now. And look, there's a power line right there. So we can keep everything nice, neat, tidy. We just go, yeah, we'll just go boop there. I don't just like kind of underneath going from one thing to the other. Also, it's looking a little darkish. Yeah, dark in the middle of the day. Looks like it's going to be dark in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a light stand here on the back door. We'll come down to here. We'll put another one right there. So that's the 45-degree light stand. So we can then close these guys off. Attach right there. It is at a nice, convenient height. And then, boom. Okay, so the building is now energized. At least that part of it is. We can get rid of this here again. I'll have to come up with something. But that is really the last thing I usually do is kind of these little final decorative and bits and pieces. This probably an easy fix. Here, now we can have a nice little kind of clean walking surface right here. And then I can come inside, grab a power line up the wall, try to hit something that'll give me the... Why are you doing it that way? Why are you trying to go... You know what? That's fine. You know what? You do you. You just do that. Yeah, there's no clipping or anything like that. I can work with that. Alright, so at the moment, this will probably only give me 240, but, you know, I could easily crank that up to 600. And the whole point of getting these fused frames is that I can then start working towards my turbo motors, which will give me my Mark III miners. Okay, let's get some stuff going here. How do I change my menus? I've forgotten. How do I work this game? There we go. So we're going to grab a lift right there. Yeah, I know it's, you know, it's a 780 lift for 240, but, you know, if I need to expand it, it's right there. Okay, so that bauxite, don't want to do that. And then come out, and it pretty much is just going to go right here. Yeah. Put in a floor hole. Make sure everything is going in the right direction. Yep, and there's my little tink. Comes out of here. Grab our belt. Let's go to straight mode. Nope, let's go to straight mode. And we get a nice clean angle. And our station is loading. Excellent. Didn't really need to swing this wide here, did I? I'm going to clean this up here before I run off. Yeah, I'm just going to clean this up here. We don't need these guys. That's no longer in the right place. Jeez, this is just a nice little easy corner here. Yeah, you kind of need the more thickness because you got stations there, so I don't mind it there. But yeah, this corner here. Yeah, actually, you know, another way we could do these is if I just need a 45 and just rotate it, because we can also now down nudge. Yeah, so you can see how that just doesn't quite line up, even if I use the half nudge. Using this, you know, platform or foundation to foundation just will not give you that nice clean corner. I'm not sure, don't quite remember where I figured this one out or got this one from. Whether I pulled it out of my own fevered imagination or whether it was from another YouTuber. But yeah, this is the one that has always given me the best results. If you want to do corners and stuff, easiest way to do it is to draw it out with beams and then just use nudging. Because, you know, beams have their own very special kind of snap points. Okay, that has got this station in place. Let's make sure our transportation system, which is, you know, the hypertubes here, are properly operational. So we're going to bring a hypertube down to here. Let's lock it into place so I can see what the looks like. I guess that'll be fine. All right, over here. Yeah, that's cool. We don't need anything else there. Just like that. I just need one of these. And now we can grab some juice from back here. Put you there, and there we go. I mean, it's a silly little bit of a junction here, but sometimes you just don't want to walk or fly. Okay, we can head ourselves back here now. We can take our first look at the track. So, you know, just, you know, spanning across. Like I said, it had to do a little bit of winding to get through here. So that's, again, one of the really great ways that the new nudging just makes laying tracks so much faster and easier, is that I can lift, I can turn. As long as I set the rotational angle before I hit the old hold button, everything works out just perfectly dippity-doo. Don't ask me what I mean by why I said dippity-doo. What is dippity-doo? Who knows? Okay, so we come in here. That is just going down that way and points beyond. And then this, of course, is where the bauxite will come when it's done. So the train that's going to go down there will, you know, have to go through the loop here, go through the roundabout, come out through here. It's going to duck itself underneath here so it can get past the track there, come up, and then off it goes. If I'm bringing bauxite from down that, because there's a couple of nodes down there, same thing, train can come along, go underneath, but instead of making the right turn, it makes the left turn, goes into the depot, and everything is working fine. And I put in 3 stations here, because that should be more than enough bauxite, you know, a couple of pures and normal. Okay. Let's grab a bit of, let's grab some trainage here. So I'm going to grab a locomotive. We'll put you kind of back here for now. We'll grab a freight car. Just need the one freight car for now. Okay, let's set you up. So you are not train, you are box. Yeah, sure, I'll finish up the road. Box, hauler. Yeah, I guess just box hauler. Sure. Edit the timetable. So we're looking for bauxite stations. So we have the aluminum bauxite receiving. That's where we're sitting right now. Cliffside Depot 1. Save our changes. And we're ready to go. And you know what? Let's just get the train running right now. Take a quick test of the track. Oh, I need to turn off self-drive. Back this guy up. Does anyone else see the problem currently that we have here? We are missing a freight platform. So let's bring in our freight yeah, one of these. There we go. Now we can go for a ride. Okay, let's do a quick ride. Yeah, I don't really ride my trains that much anymore. Now that I've got my little hypertube wonder. Other thing I think I need to do is on Easter platform, you are an unload platform. Of course, you're not going to unload yet because you have nothing to unload. Gonna hide my HUD. Hello. Can we move on? There it goes. Got to go through the full timing cycle. Trains are so loud. That's one of the reasons why I don't like riding the trains, is that they are just so freaking loud. Okay, that was a moment I was talking about earlier. Because there was a pass signal there, that's why we came to that kind of crawling advance there. That was because we were coming onto a bit of a hidden path signal, but it was a path signal. Okay, so there's a couple of little straight sections I might want to clean up on the track. Don't mind a little bit of a kind of, you know, left, right as we come into corners or out of corners. It kind of gives it more of like an antic, almost like oh, gonna have to fix that. That is so not good. Yeah, that's angling down. Oh, everything about that is wrong. Absolutely everything about that is wrong. ADHD Satisfactory. What is going on over here? Nothing is going on over here right now. Okay, we're going to see our first pickup here. There goes our bauxite. And yeah, some of the animations look a little bit desynced weirdly. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about those things. The fact that anyone can make anything like this work is black magic. And I've taken courses on, you know, digital systems and stuff like that. I mean, way back in the day. Okay, the 2000s, like 2000, mid-90s, not like it was the frickin' super old days, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Same dinosaurs that roamed the earth back then still roam now. But yeah, the more I understand about computers, the more the fact that anyone can make this happen just by turning on a bunch of switches on and off. Because literally, that is all a CPU is. A CPU is about a trillion some odd on-off switches, like wall light switches. And just in how those sort of switches are arranged, what things are open, what things are closed, we get pretty pictures and trains running down digital tracks. Okay, so I'm now bringing in 240 bauxite, so we can now get back into setting up the aluminum. Where am I bringing in my water? Let's look for the pipes. The pipes are calling. Where the hell am I bringing my water up from? There they are. Okay, so I'm bringing water up here. Cool. So I'm not shipping that in yet. Sorry, just kind of flying around here, seeing where I want to put in these next sections. And I think, let's have a look at the blueprints first. All right, so construction lines, smelting constructors, aluminum. So this needs 600 bauxite, so I'm going to have to, yeah, really. That needs 360 coal, plus 3 times 240, you do 3 times 240, yeah, that's right, because you're 3 different machines. What is the difference between these two? Sloppy aluminum solution. Oh, that's without a building. Okay, that's all that is. That's without a building. I want with a building, aluminum ingots, and then aluminum casings. Yeah, there's just nothing easy about aluminum. All right, so we're going to grab one of these. Means I'm going to have to increase the output on that station there, but that's fine. So I start with one of these. And where do I want you to go? I think stretch this line off of here. Just to kind of give it some layers and depth. Nope, there we go. And we're just going to fill in all of this. Like that. Okay. And if we kind of want a reminder of how we got it all set up, you can see there's the one I'm about to put down. So that's making the where the bauxite goes in. Then we have another set of building here. That's where this scrap comes out of. And then we go into, ingots and finished products and the like. All right. I'm going to end up with a lot of aluminum out of this, I think, because that is a full setup. But that's cool. That's all right. I'm alright. Nobody worry about me. There we go. Okay. I guess we can just sample that. Missing concrete. Not for long. There it is. There's my concrete. Now, where do I want to put him down? I'm going to keep him clear of the other stuff here, so we'll just drop him into place here. We can scoot you kind of right there. Let's see, your inputs are coming in along there. Maybe if I'll push you over a little bit more. Try to get you centered up on the platforms here. Is that okay? No, let's come over by one. I think that should be okay. Missing concrete. How much concrete am I missing? No, I got all the concrete I need. That is just an old message. All right, let's put those down. So 200 bauxite, 200 water. So I need 600 water. Is that what you guys are doing down here? Does that mean each of you is doing 300? That doesn't sound right. That's 240 water. You're chock full. Freaking recipe am I using here? Water when it comes to aluminum, I think aluminum is the worst. Just because I find it so frustrating to manage. Okay, so I just went, yeah, 200 and 200. Is this the right one? Yeah, sloppy aluminum. What's the difference between these two? So that's producing 120. That's wrong. That's no good. Only using 120 bauxite. It's using 180 water. The sloppy alumina solution, on the other hand, is 200, but it doubles that. And that's per machine. What the hell am I doing? Oh, because it recycles in. Okay, you know what? We need the planner here for a quick sec. Okay, so let's just have a quick boo over to the Satisfactory modeler here. Because what I'm forgetting about is I'm forgetting that lot of the water gets to be recycled. Now, I thought I had an aluminum recipe line set up, and it looks like I don't. Okay. Yeah, it's back on the Satisfactory calculator. All right, so let's just start with alumina. Lube in. You're really not going to give me a better. What am I looking for? Solution. Alumina solution. So let's go with this solution here. Solution. Aluminum, electroaluminum scrap. Lumina solution. Sloppy alumina. There it is. We're going to start with one of these. So we've got some sloppy alumina. We're going to bring in our bauxite. We are going to bring in our water. And then we are going to follow the train down. So we're going to come out of here. That's going to go into... What's that using? Petroleum coke? No. No. And yes. Like that. I'm going to need to make sure I bring coal. But I still have coal over there, and I'm pretty sure I can make more of it. Okay, so this is the water that's going to come out. So that's the water that's coming out. That's going to need to feed back into here. If we kind of position things here, there we go. That is then going to go into your aluminum ingot. I hopefully have that recipe. Your ingot. Aluminum ingot. Yes, I do have it. Okay. I don't want to deal with silica. That's another recycling line, and it is a pain. Yeah, I know I'm getting less ingots. I don't have silica going into this one, do I? Let me just quickly run over here. Where are my ingots being made? My ingots being made right in here. Yeah, so that's just taking in aluminum scrap, so pure aluminum ingot. Good. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Just means I'm not bringing in any quartz, not doing silica. Yeah, the outlay is not as great, but it is what it is. Okay. Honestly, I already know what water how much it's going to be, because I just have to set up the exact same thing I got downstairs. It's just what is all my ingots getting turned into? They're all getting turned into aluminum casing. But now I have to finish. Yeah, okay. And then these guys are going to get turned into aluminum casing. And just to kind of give myself an idea of the numbers I'm going to be making. No, that's not where I type that in. Where do I type it in? I type it in right here. 150. That's what I need down at the end, right? Sometimes don't know exactly how this thing freaking works. I just want... Okay. Maybe if I need to do it the other way. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you know what? I'm distracting myself. I know how much water I need, because that's exactly the same setup as I have down there. Just do that again. Okay, so that means I'm going to need whatever building you are. You can come here, Mr. Aluminum Scrap. We are going to try to position you. We can sneak in here. Fall through here. And get you lined up. So we're going to get you all lined up. And I can even maybe get auto connect. Yeah, look at that. There goes auto connect. And we'll move you back. keep pushing you that way. I want... There you go. Let's get you there. I think we need to come over like that. There we go. Okay, and what about the floor line up here? I know I just randomly climbed a ladder for some reason. Ah! That is annoying. My fingers keep hitting the wrong buttons because I play the different games that they're close to, but not quite. All right, let's try getting you guys lined up again. Okay, so that is now straight to straight. That's good. That's what I'm after. Yeah? Are you properly lined up now? Are you all meeting where you're supposed to be meeting? You feel like you're just kind of out of whack here for some reason. Yeah, I think what I need to do is I actually need to switch it to blueprint mode. Turn that off. There we go. Have a look over here where it feels like a weird gap. But I think it's just the bars here on the windows that are giving me pause. I think that should be fine. Yeah, okay. So that's connected them and then placed it. I don't know why my brain was struggling with that. Okay. So that means the aluminum solution is going to go from here. Going to flow into here. And then, yes, so each one of these is going to be dumping 120 water, which is going to feed right back into the pipes. So that's going to be out of the 600 that's coming in because it's 200. That means 80 times 3, 240, which is 2 water wells. Look at that. It actually makes sense. All right. Now that we figured that all out, whoop, nope, not that button. I'm going to hit H. I'm going to do is take a quick bio break, and we'll be right back, and we'll get this sucker piped up. Be right back. And we're back. Okay. Stop getting distracted. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we do need to transport more bauxite. So I'm going to need to increase the output down there. So I'm going to go do that now. pretty sure yeah, that should still, one car should still be able to keep up, but I gotta make sure I refill it at 600 per minute. I'm not gonna downgrade. We'll just zip past the radiation. We'll boost, and then over here, we can pop up over to here. And we are running through. There we go. Okay, so let's get some power crystals installed into this fella here. So we'll just hold down shift, go boop. Hold down control, go boop, I should say. I'll just fill these all up. Hey, I got a hard drive here that I haven't researched yet. Actually got a lot of stuff I need to go drop off at home. Back at big, yeah, look at all that. Wow, I am carrying a lot of trash. Do I need to carry bottled water? No, I do not need to be carrying bottled water. Why am I carrying bottled water? I have no idea why I'm carrying bottled water. Yeah, the first two top rows damn near can be emptied. Okay, so now we're doing 600. Coming out of there, 600 going into there, so we can head back now. That was easy. And off we go. And off we go. Maybe we can't go into photo mode. You can go into... Really? What was I hitting there? W? U? The hell was I? Oh, T. Oh, look at that. T will... Why am I... There's radioactive material right there. Wow. I am dancing on the edge of zapping my bones. Okay, so now we're bringing in 600 bauxite over there, which just needs to have some sort of transit structure somewhere. I'm thinking we could do something right about here, like that. And then we can have like that. Up to there. Have basically like a little column here. Go. And I just need to take one of these guys out for accessibility. Okay. Probably actually, that's what I don't have at the moment is a sub-basement, and we probably should have something of that. So we can go across like that. And then we can, you know, drop down some walls and stuff down there to just make it feel a little bit more all-supported, but we can do that. I'll take it into whatever sub-basement I need, and then I can expand the walls if need be. One more row there. Be the same width. And then if I do one more row here, yep, 4x4, that is what the aluminum is built on. And then we can just go like this. And across like that. Am I getting an indication? Yeah, 150 items per minute. Yeah, you're not doing enough yet to really get a proper count. But my flashlight on. Our helmet lights on. Yeah, we go like that. And yeah, there we go. So we got a little working area there. Okay, let's get the water. Don't need this row here. Preferably without... There we go. Okay, so now I want to find my water, and I'm hoping... that I can squeeze in 2 more of these little brutes right in here, especially if I kind of move the shoreline-ish that way. Grab one of you guys. How far over can I go? So I can go... I should be able to do this. I should be able to get them all into position. Okay, so I want them to snap. That means I need to try to get... Can I get underneath? Yes, I can. No, I can't. What am I doing here? Come on. Come on. Yes, you just can't see it. Oh well, can't use my put an underwater foundation to snap the pump on, so we'll just have to kind of manually do it. And the worst thing about pumps is they're non-nudgeable, so we just kind of have to touch right about there. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at that corner right there. And yes, there we go. There we go. Okay, so those 2 fit. Now, if they didn't fit, obviously I could have easily... Did anyone see that up until now? Oop. I'm actually surprised the whole system hasn't crashed. Huh. My bad. Oops. Okay, anyway. Hey, look, that's the similar type structure. No, it's not. That's the ramp down. Okay, so that's the ramp down. I am hating what is happening down here. What is happening down here? I don't know, but I hate it. Let's fix that up. And what's the song? ADHD Satisfactory. There we go. That just feels a little bit better. And then we can put a nice big pick. Connecting you down. We can do the same thing in this corner here. Just again, make sure the world doesn't feel weird. And if I grab one of them, I could put that there. Put that there. Grab one of these. Rotate for me, sir. And we go boop. And we go boop. And there we go. A little bit of structure. Actually, we can do that over here too. Let's do the same thing over here. We go boop. We go boop. We go boop. And we go boop. Okay. So the piping. The pipes are calling. Water. Mr. Water. Let's find where Mr. Water needs to come up. And I'm going to do that by punching through there, and I'm just going to make a hole. Because then I can see exactly where I'm going. So we are going to come over this way. Hey, look. This is not right. I'm going to fix this corner here while I'm here and seeing it. And we're going to fix it the same way we fixed all of our other ones here. So I'm going to grab my Mr. Painted Beam. I'm going to see how well it goes from stretching here. As long as it stays away from the track, which it does, I can then grab a foundation. Nudgy, nudgy, nudgy. Nudgy, 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 nudgy. Right into the corner. Yeah, and again, in the land of great improvements to quality of life, giving us the clipping. That was another one that really just made a lot of difference. All right, there we go. That cleans up that corner nicely. And that way we don't have to look at it, and I can see what's going on here, and I don't have that weird kind of... That actually works out really nicely. I like that. Okay, Mr. Water. Mr. Water, what can you do for me? Where does the water need to be in the top? So, if we shove our faces out through here, we can see that I am stuck in between walls. Is that the water comes into here, water go down to here, water go down to here, water come in right here. And that's that little pipe connection on the outside of my building here. Do I care if my water's on the outside? Not particularly. I'm gonna paint it just so I know that it is water. There we go. And then we can grab, no, not out of that. Let's go to our pipe section, just because it makes it easier that I can go like that, and then grab my floor pipe. So we're gonna put you right there. Grab you, and let's make sure you are, yeah, auto will do. Lovely. Let's paint you blue, and we'll paint you blue. Okay. Now, where did that pipe come out? It came out exactly where I would have liked it to. It's actually in the right place. I'm going to fill in that wall here. I'm going to start filling in the wall here, but of course I need to make sure I have a escape route, so we'll pop him out of there. Okay, so the pipe's going to come down there. Excellent. That means we need to go down that hole, which is right there. So we are going to pass you. That should be right about there. And then we can grab our blue pipe, put you up to there. Interesting as it copies the color too. Never realized that. That's kind of cool. I probably did realize it, just never really processed it in my brain before. Okay, so we're going to need to pump the water to there. So I am going to have to be very careful or cogent. I really do think I'm losing the ability to speak the language. Oh. When I heard the news about Bruce Willis losing that kind of part of his brain that processed words for him, and it's not, you know, it's apparently getting worse. He's almost completely non-communicado verbally, even understanding the language. Like, I really feel for what he's going through right now. But I sometimes feel the same thing. It's just, you're looking for a word, and it is something that I've struggled with. I mean, I've always had a nominal fasciitis. Essentially is that I just have real problems remembering proper nouns, proper names. I speak in metaphor. There we go. So, yeah. My brain just sometimes forgets what the hell word I was just trying to use. There we go. Okay, let's get that pipe up to there. And we're going to nudge a little bit like that, just so we have some space to put in our pump, because that's where our first pump's going to be. We're going to then bring the pipe up to here, just to kind of get it moving and grooving. And then, that's obviously not going to work that way. We are going to have to... yeah, I'm on horizontal to vertical. Actually, let's put ourselves into straight. Yeah. Straight, I can go to there. What do you mean invalid pipe shape? Oh my god. There. Okay, nice and straight. Get you guys painted up. And yes, I know I could put the paint colors on my toolbar. I just haven't. I really should. You know, it's never going to happen now that I've said I really should. All right. Need to bring some power. So we're going to grab right from there. We'll, I really don't like, every time I do ceiling mounted power connections, I just never like them. I just don't. I really do prefer having a little light stands down here. We go with a 2? Yeah, let's go with a 2. So I'm going to put a 2 there. There. The pipe's kind of in the way, so maybe what I'll do is this. Yeah, I'm going to default. We're going to default, so we're going to put you there. I'm going to grab you, reline you up with this new location, and right there. Now I can go clickety, clickety, yes, clickety. I'm going to go light to light. That way we don't running the wires through, and then you can go to there. It's kind of a weird stretch, but you can go to there. We're gonna grab, I think I'll just put a power line right there. Because now I want to grab a pump. That's going to go that direction, and we can plug you in. Okay, so how much head lift are you going to have once I connect you? To connect you, I need to grab one of these guys. I'm going to insert you into the power line. We're going to come down the center of the foundations. We're just going to go boop. That was an inadvertent click, and we're going to come down the wall to somewhere around here, and then we can plug you into there. And we have some light down here. We'll have to go make some adjustments on the light switch, but it's been a while since I've cycled through the home and gone to the master light switch just to make sure all the colors and timing and blah 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 are all set up. Okay, what's your head lift doing? Absolutely butt kiss. Why is that? You are in fact dumping water into the system. You are slowly filling. You are filling. All right, so our head lift right now is at 21 meters. That is dark. Dark, dark, dark down there. Okay. Don't think I'm going to see any water in this pipe. Oh, you're full. How far up did my water get to? You're full. Ooh. Am I within the head lift? I am. Ooh. All right. Where's the dump water? I'm gonna need to get that piped in. All right. Dump water. Dump water. Dump water. Dump water. Dump water. You come out. You go. You go over. You go into Mr. Tanky here. Okay. So you're dumping into Mr. Tank. Mr. Tank. Where do I want to send your contents to join in with the regular line? And I think I can come down right through here. What's underneath me here? Brings me into this space here. That goes right to there. It's like I had a plan. Spoiler alert. There wasn't really a plan. There was a hope and an idea. But it's coming to reality. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I'm not sure what you're supposed to be doing. You know, it has been a while since I've used these. Because you are, yes, I get it, that you're putting the scrap down that way, but, okay, we'll get one section running and we'll double check. I think I know that's just, yeah, that's just excess. That's a just in case line. Pretty sure. What I do need, though, is I do need a wave going down to the floor hole here. There we go. Just like that. Right like that. We can grab our pipe. Not straight mode, we'll go to auto mode. Well, that's going to start dumping water down that line. I think I need to move this a little bit. I just want to make sure it's not going to get in the way of anything else. Yeah, that's never going to interfere. That's cool. That's cool. That's not. Okay. It's going right there. Then we can grab our pipe. And grab the color there. I'm going to grab that color there. That was weird that it left part of it orange. Let's get these guys out of here. This can now go down into there. Now, which building mode gives me the kind of best result? None of them. Curve doesn't work. Auto doesn't work. Noodle works. That works. I guess I'll just use that one. That's the only disadvantage to kind of bringing it over that way. But it is what it is. Let's get some stuff painted up. Here we go. Okay, so excess water now comes down through here, which is exactly what we kind of want it to do, because now I can come down here. Close that off. We can put one of these things in place. Like that. And then all we need to do is just make sure we've got a proper building mode. And we get him going where we need him to go, which is over a little bit. Right there. Yep, just like that. And we'll come back to there, just like that, and then we can And let's get some proper coloring down here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so my excess water is now going to go into there. I think I also want to put in right here a one-way valve. Like right there. Just to keep this water from dumping down into there. So it's always going to go that way, and then that's always going to go that way, and that should make this work. Because I don't want water really backfilling into that container. So I'm also going to put a pipe or a one-way valve here. Because I want it to be a closed loop. Like whatever water is up in that container, I want it to drain out into the main system. I don't want anything backfeeding. And that should prevent it from backfeeding. If we again pop into the building here and go up our slightly invisible ladder. Oh. And we look at this. Yeah, this should not be getting any water in it. Okay, so bauxite. I mean, it ain't hard setting up the aluminum using the blueprints like this, but it is still, there's no good aluminum easy peasy type setup. It's just always going to be a wee bit of a pain. Okay, I'm not going up into there. Why am I in this? So what I'm looking at next is now I need to move the bauxite down underneath. So our bauxite is going to come out of right here. So we need to bring it underneath the facility. And we are going to need maximum speed. Okay. Pleases and thank yous. Can I find a way underneath? Oof, that's a mean-looking sky. Hey, look, there's my other bauxite. Yeah, so I mean, I do have bauxite just sitting here. It's not enough. It's not enough. It is enough. Not enough. No, it's not. This is enough. It's there if I need it. Let's just go with that. Okay, bauxite going up. So we're gonna have to kind of backfeed a little bit from inside here, because now what I want to figure out is where well, that was easy. Right there. And by figure out, what did the past me do? He did that. Yep, that's exactly what past me did. Past me used the floor wall mod to put that right there. I can just do, there's the little click and the tink. So that's where the bauxite's going to go into the system. Which is right here. So you've got a crazy ass lean going on there, don't you? Yeah, you do. Am I going to change it? No, I don't think so. Is it gonna get changed anyway? Yeah, probably. All right. Bauxite is gonna have to go this way. So we go up to there. Flashlight, please. Okay, so bauxite go that away, and bauxite, and I think I want to just close this off here. Like so. There we go. A little bit of track poking out through there, so we can fix that with a little bit like that. There we go. That's nice and clean. Of course, this side is not. So, but that's pretty straight. Or let me get the suit back on. Yeah, and then all the way back like that. We grab across the top here, like that, and then we can also fill in here, 2 meter. Fill in here with the 2 meter. There we go. Okay, all of that just so I can what? Well, one, I can fill that hole. Get back to here so I can do that. We're gonna go drop one of you in right here. And we'll start sending you to your final destination. And there. And boop. There we go. Let the bauxite flow. Of course. Ooh. You know what? This might actually not be a nice little place for a bit of an obs window there. Yeah. Yeah, sure. We'd have just like a little observation window so that when the train comes through, they can, oh, look, there's all this industrial stuff happening. Busy, busy, busy. I also like to kind of clean these guys up. There we go. No, I can hear the machine up. No, I can't, because there's no power going into those buildings yet. Okay, so the only thing that needs to come in is bauxite and water, which we now have moving inward. I'm going to leave that open for now. Okay, so where are our power connections in the blueprint? Again, I have no recollection of really... I know I built them, but beyond that, I don't really have any, like, this is exactly the way this is supposed to work. No, that doesn't exist. That didn't happen. We have connection points. We have weird floating power conduits. Do you need a beam? Can I get a nice can I get a rotation out of you? No, but you can do that. There you go. Okay, so you don't look quite as weird. That's strange. Okay, I just basically need to find a place to attach my power line, which looks like it could be just right through here. So, yeah. So we're going to need something that goes to here. I'm gonna grab the line. We're gonna grab the line right there. And because we're hiding in the beams, I hit the wrong button again. Okay. Grab the power, out to the door, stay away from the bloody X button. I have been playing way too much Space Engineers. X activates your hover pack there. Then I can go to there. We'll drop down to here. I'm going to delete that right out of the gate. Grab a new one so I can line it up properly. like right there. 2 to you, all the way over to you, and we are powered. So those 3 machines are currently powered. These 3 machines are currently powered. They're not doing anything yet because they haven't yet received some material. Not liking that wall gap there, so I'm going to patch though. We're going to grab some pillar, and we're going to fill in that gap. Right like that. We'll do that on the other side. How did I fill the gap over here? Did I fill the gap? Was there a gap? No, those line up perfectly. Why is there a gap? Probably because I needed to move you over just a little bit more, didn't I? Does it matter now? No, not at all. Okay. Finish getting this done. I would really like to not have that there. Beam? Or? Beam. Beam. Painted beam. That'll fill that in. There we go. We can use painted beam this side. Painted beam. That's going to get in the way of the door, so you know what? Big center line. Perfect. Okay. So I should now have these 3 machines full of alumina scrap. I should not have those machines full of alumina scrap because I still need to grab my coal. How much coal do I need? I have no idea. I should probably look that up. How much coal do I need? I need... $360 coal just by itself. Can I get 360 coal out of this one remaining? I do have the fast enough belts. I do not have fast enough miner. Now, what are you giving me? You are only giving me 240. Ooh, you're a really bad node. Oh, not good. Not the one. Anyone Babylon 5 fans back there? Or out there? Yeah. Good old Zathras. One of my favorite characters. The actor who did Zathras just did such a good of just that long-suffering... You know, literally the schmuck that we would all be in a universe where important things are happening and powerful races are doing this, and no, we'd all be Zathras just trying to get through another workday, preferably without dying, like any other workday. Okay, so McColl is going in there. Do I have any place to receive coal? No. Yes. Okay, I got all the copper ore I still could need. So I can start bringing coal in. Because I can attach it to the backside of you. Where are you getting your copper from? That's the other thing I want to figure out first. Your copper is coming from the Space Elevator Copper Ore Deposit. So that's the copper from over here. That's where we're bringing that in. Do I you have any other generally useful places for... Don't need to ride the train. I need to find coal. I need coal. Got a little bit of coal here. That's a normal node. That's where we're at right now. I've got this guy here. Oh, there we go. Ooh, there's some pure node right there. Where have I got track? There's a normal node just off to the side. There's a pure node right there. There's a pure node right there. Which one is going to be easier to get into the system? Why are you all freaky out there, bud? Relax. Take a breath. Okay, so that coal node over here is... And again, I think it said it was normal. Where are you? Let's see how hard it would be to get you moved in. Oh, you are a bit of a distance. Well, maybe not. You go down the hill. I'm going to run out of juice in a second here, so let me get some feed lines. So I can make sure I don't go falling out of the sky. Let's grab scanner. Okay, so you're right there. Hello. What are you like to bring back? It's a bit of a run. Is there an easy way to do this without just having kind of open-aired belts? Okay, so we've got one there. We have another one. This away. Let's go see where that is. There's one below us somewhere, but that's pretty much useless to us. There we go. Okay, so there is supposedly a coal node nearby here, and it's down low, isn't it? It's way down there. Where are you? Come to me. Come to me? Where are you? No. Oh yeah. Look at there. I'm falling. I should probably do something about that. Oh, where did I catch the power from? Oof. And then it's gone. Okay, just get up the side of the cliff. I'm just catching it from the truck. Okay, so those guys are like way the hell down there. Not useful. Not really great. Hello, you two. Here, listen. I got boom boom things too. You want to try my boom boom things? How my boom boom things? My boom boom things good? You like my boom boom things? Yeah, I didn't think so. Enjoy your naps. Oh, I'm starting to... Ooh, I am out of filters. That's probably something I should take care of. Let's grab ourselves a awesome shot. And let's put in an awesome shot. And let's get some filters. Radiation filters. I want to buy 2 carts. Thank you. Do I have tickets on me? I don't have the tickets on me. Crap. Okay. Stay out of the radiation for the moment. All right, so coal, not good over here. I mean, yeah, it's a lift, right? It's not that big of a deal, but it's no closer. I mean, that's only a normal, so a normal... Yeah, I think I might have to... Oh, I don't want to do this. Okay, so what I have thinking is that I might have to kind of use the couponage to unlock my turbo motors, which means I'm going to have to go just buy a bunch of frames. I don't like doing that because that kind of messes up. Ada yells at me, or she gets very sarcastic and judgy. Especially when I'm in the middle of building that frickin' product line, which is the fused frames. Those are the things that I have to build. But then, if I do that, I then get access to the turbo motors. I do have a sink around here somewhere, don't I? Where's my sink? Hello, Mr. Sink. I think you're a little bit further down. Where the hell is the sink? I thought I had a sink over here. Do I not have a sink over here? I must have a sink over here. I don't think I have a sink over here. Anyway. Okay, so if I gotta... There we go. No, that's not what I want. I actually need to go back to home base. Let's take a quick trip to home base, grab some tickets and other stuff. All right, where's my line? There we go. All right. What is going to be the easiest to get the coal? Now, the other question is do I just want to do like a little patch job? You know, feed like a weird, just ugly ass line? Because there is 3 pure nodes right over here for coal. It's kind of like a nice coal sweet spot. We are currently sitting right here. There is track ready to go. I think instead of me dicking with anything else over there, unlocking turbo motors, any of that kind of stuff, I think my best bet is to probably just build a coal depot over there. 3 nodes, 3 stations. Trucks can kind of, or trains can kind of come in, gather what they want. Then, once they are done, where's that line ever going to go to? Probably down. I mean, I do have recipes where I can unlock. Anyway, nope. Don't distract yourself. Just deal with what you got going on over here. Where can I dump said coal? I can dump said coal right here. So if I take this guy out and put in a freight platform. Actually, maybe, do I want to flip it? I think maybe I want to flip it. What's there? Anyone going to get in anyone's way? No, because I'm going to go underneath the floor, go over that way. Okay, yeah. So we can put a station in, or a unload station here, or freight platform. So we're going to have it unload, because this already says or receiving. Yeah, perfect. I think I had it meant for something else, but you know what? I can use it for the coal right now. Okay, let's go back down there. And run our line. And down to the end. And whoop, we fly. Yeah, perfect. So we just go that way by grabbing one of these. Let's just go to our train line. There we go. Go to blueprint, auto connect. So we get our lovely auto connect. There's one thing I want to do quickly before, just again to keep my life with trains nice and easy. I'm going to quickly throw down one of these things, because what I have recently added to the blueprint line under my rail is, where did it go? It is train support curve inset. Okay, so you were done on the Mark IV. Fine. Let's dismantle you. Let's grab the Mark I, I should say. Mark IV. Load brew point, rail, train support. There we go. So what it is just this little setup here. Oh, look at that. I already did that thing on there. I am going to do a little quick modifications to it. Namely, do I want to do that? Or do I want to put... Yeah, so I think what I actually am going to do here... No, I wanted it low for a reason. And the reason I wanted it on that block as opposed to the same height is because this is to fill in curves, and sometimes that wire just does not follow the proper flow. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to grab a wall outlet. It's not going to create one there, so we have to put one there, and then just raise it up like that. I also want to make sure I have another one on this side here, like that. Raise it up by one. Oh, that's interesting. You stayed out further. Why did you stay out further? What was different? I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? You are what you are. Hello, you. Oh, you're a rock spitter. Are you a rock spitter? Shit, I fell down. No, run away! Run away! Yeah, I'm brave when I'm floating 20 feet above your head, but as soon as I get near ground level, yeah, I turn into a little bit of a... Okay, didn't really need to take this to a little diversion. I thought I hadn't done it, but apparently I've already taken care of what I wanted to do, so minor correction. Let's clear that out. Let's get this out of here. Where did the little bastard get to? There you are. You're not really hurt me down there. You know what? Today I show mercy. Okay, so there's a reason why I was looking at all that. Because I'm trying to... So the reason is I'll show you here. So if I just push this guy all the way to the end, until it says that it's basically too long for the rails, I have to come back like 16 nudges, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Because, yes, the rails can stretch, but nothing else can. The wire nor the hypertube can actually stretch. So that is the absolute maximum length distance that can be away, which, you know, is fine. It's great. I would love that. Problem is that I can't connect. You can see how far it falls short there. But, and this is why I wanted to check that recipe. What I can do is we turn it back into default mode. We can line it up. And again, this only works because we have vertical nudge. I can nudge things around. Nudge it back up. See, we go there. Nudge it over a little bit. It's more or less kind of the halfway. I dare! Fat fingered it. Where's my halfway point? Somewhere right about here. Yeah. Maybe a tiny little. Sure. Yeah, I know you're down there all sounding Mr. Tough. Yeah, rawr, rawr, rawr. Okay, so now I can go like this, and that fills in the gap. I want curve. And same thing with the power line, is I can grab a power line. You can actually see the, this is a less evolved version of the tower, but now I can go to there, and everything's just fine. Like that. And then down to the ground. Okay, cool. There is a wreck over there I don't think I've cleared yet. Let's do that again. So again, we snap and connect. Hold H. Hold down the arrow key to shove this sucker way down as far as we can. La 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 la. And that's as far as it can go. I can now grab that blueprint. Sure. To somewhere around there. Grab our hypertube line. In. And let there be power. And run you down to the ground. Oh my god, I can't tell you how much nicer, even with this kind of, yeah. No matter how much I may complain about putting these things in, it's just, there's no comparison to how we, the good old days, you know, the pre 1.0 days, where we couldn't really have the auto connect. We couldn't nudge vertically. We only could nudge 8, like one, not even one full foundation. So things like infinite. Oh, I have cleared this one, so we can. You can tell because there's a power pole right there, so there is no hard drive in it. Also, the fact that it is in fact letting me delete it. I do like the fact that I can just delete things now. It'd be nice if these bits and pieces would dissolve on their own, but They don't. Yeah, like setting up track is just so much easier. Okay, where are we towards the coal? I can see it just as I hit the button. It is right there. And of course, if we look, you can see there's a radar tower. So we're kind of over top of, you know, there's the cliffside. Nope, can't make it. Come on. There you go. So yeah, we could put another spiral coming off this waterfall here if we wanted to go down that way, but I mean, it's such a short little detour. Let's finish getting this track set up. And again, we are going to change it to Blueprint Auto Connect. H, and hold down the arrow key. Yeah, like, you know, it'd be nice if you hold like shift to put it in essentially second gear. That would be nice. Because this is a bit annoying, but again, the amount of nitpicking involved in that. You know, you gave me this thing that's really awesome. You know what would be good? If you did it right. Like, that's just, no. I am not complaining at all. I'm just stating that, hey, if you're thinking of, you know, some tweaks, a second gear, if we're going to give us have infinite nudge, it would be nicer if we could nudge a little faster than the default. And there's even a convenient SAM ore node right over there. It is full of Mr. Beans, but there is a convenient SAM node over there. So I have a funny feeling that once we get into past the current Phase 4, Phase 5, I'm going to be using a lot more SAM ore. Because I think that's what they were saving up for. Okay, how much further do I want to go? Let's actually start running. So that's 10. Here we go. And then if I go 6, so that's enough kind of turn radius. That puts all 3 of you guys nicely off to the side. So yeah, I think what I'll do... Well, 2 more? Or is that going to be too much? Nope, that's putting us over. Okay, and that means these guys are all clear. Good. So we could just stretch off that way now. I'm going to need 3 platforms here. We need... Uh-oh, I'm falling right in front of the big Mr. Nasty. Run away. Run away. There we go. And Mr. Brave, run away, run away. Maybe I should just take care of it. I don't really, if I don't have to, I don't necessarily. I'm kind of starting to feel a little guilty. Oh, no. I knew that was going to happen. Thing in the back of my head. Remember, those are one lower than the actual track deck, right? Remember that? Yeah, I knew I had that, right? Yeah, no. You see, because, you know, these are one bit up higher. Okay, so... I'm gonna... Do I need an accelerator? Yeah... far are we coming? Pretty damn far. You know what? I don't really think I'm going to come down here, so I'm not going to put in the accelerator. I am just going to let it go at normal speeds. We'll just make sure we have everything connected here. There we go. I can't quite reach those yet. We are going to grab one of these, and I know these are still down by one, but that's okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just do the auto connect thing, and we'll drag it there. I was going to try and just use regular snapping, but I'd be here all freaking day. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to get this guy to here. One, so I'm not constantly falling out of the sky, so I have power. So I'm pulling power from my pack off the track itself. Let's get you hooked up. There we go. That's where I wanted you, just not necessarily at that height. Flip you over to asphalt. And like so. And there. Okay, so we have all of that there. Go. All right, so now we can start filling this in again for our various platforms. Want to make sure, yes, I have lots of room here for any kind of turn. So this is going to be, in fact, the outside edge. Because I'm going to have the track turn from here to here. So if we go here, put you there, and of course, you can now pull directly into a turn, which is awesome! And like that. So then we can go into the station, or in behind the station, which I might do. Yeah, I think I want the platform stretching that way in case I have to do expansions. Because if I have like the train station there and then have the platforms going this way, I'm going to run out of space really quick. But having the station come through here, I can extend that way quite a bit further. Yeah. Okay, so let's grab a transportation. Train station. Make sure you're pointing in the right direction. So that would be good for you. I'm thinking we go right there. You need room to turn. So that should be good right there. So if I grab a bit of track here, I should be able to make... Actually, I can make it a little bit sharper. I'm going to take that out of there just so I know where the line is that I'm working with. So if we go to here, we should be able to make this corner right here. So we're right to here. Now the question is, do I want that little gap track in there, or do I want to go straight into the station? I think I'm going to go straight into the station. I don't want to extend everything just so far back. I want the ability to move farther back, but I don't need will be there. Okay, so I'm going to grab platform with catwalk, because remember, that's the copper is there already. Then I can put in my freight platform for a singular coal input, just like that. And then to exit, just like we did with the bauxite over there, we're going to do something similar. Or as we did with the bauxite. English language just is really sometimes. Okay, I'm going to come out by 2 here before I make the turn. Gonna need a bit of turn there. Okay, and then we can come out here, make the turn to right here. I'm gonna say, let's turn you around that way. Throw you over to there, and I should be able to do, no, of course I'm not. What was I thinking? I got to do a 180 first, then I can bring you over. So you're going to come around somewhere along here. See, there you go. Just like that. Let's find your... There you are, right there. I guess just fill these guys in for now. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, and yeah, that should be enough. Do the ziggy zaggy. There we go. Perfect. And you know what's gonna happen now? Fun with beams. Freeform mode. We're gonna go nice 45 across there. Our foundation. I might paint everything to look into asphalt, just because the asphalt less Z clipping, and because the you have these kind of patterns here, it can sometimes show up, whereas the asphalt does not have any lines, or as obvious as lines. Look at that beautiful corner there. Okay, so that means this now is, what are we going to call this? Crater Lake. Is this the Crater Lake region? What region is this? So I'm just going to pop over to the interactive map here, or a map. Satisfactory map. Region names. There we go. That's it. Okay, yeah, no, that is Crater Lakes. Blue Crater. That's what the other region is. So here we go. Sorry. So we're right in here. We are in the Crater Lakes. Blue Crater is what I was thinking this one was. No, that's just a big ass crater that's got a body of water in it. Whereas these are the actual Crater Lakes. That's the Red Jungle, Jungle Spires, Western Dune Forest, Northern Forest, Lake Forest, Maze Canyons, Titan Forest. I've never really actually paid that much attention to Snake Tree Forest. Paradise Island. Oh. Huh. I should take a trip down to Paradise Island. Wonder what's over there. Okay, so anyway, that answered my question. The Crater Lakes. So we need to name this. So this is our Crater Lake Coal Depot. Just like that. So we have that coming in. I've got a power line right here. Let's go to material. That doesn't look right either. There we go. Okay, I should probably, while I'm stalling here, get some signals in. Okay, so we're gonna block there. We'll put a block here. Now this is a dedicated line. I'm not going into a roundabout or anything like that. If I do need to add more platforms, what I can do is just come off right here, put a set of platforms there, and then just rejoin the exit line right back there, which I think I'd prefer to do that way anyway. So, but when I want to put a station up to grab the sand ore there. But for now, I think this is going to be just fine. That reminds me, that bauxite line, I probably need to put in some more signals. At the moment, there's only one train. So the fact that it's not signaled from, like, basically the middle, none of the middle section is signaled. It's all one giant block. So I will have to fix that. But in the meantime, we can get some signaling for these guys. There we go. I keep muting my mic because I gotta clear various biological gross sounding orifices. I'm sniffing too much. Alright, there we go. We put that down there. I will connect all that. I see that. I understand it. It will get fixed someday. Okay, so who wants to be first? Does it really matter? Not a lot, but I think you're just slightly more convenient. I hope there is no one there about to shoot me in the back. I hear ya. What are you? You a spitter or a charger? Oh, it's you. Yeah? Yeah, uh-huh. Really? Okay. He's a very talkative fella. We are off the grid! So, we will have to fake it with this. Dude, you're gonna have to move. Thank you. No, keep moving. Come on. Get out of the way. Go on. Come on. What's the matter? What's the matter, fella? Yeah? Really? Oh, you big mad now, huh? How about we give you something? You want one of those? Would you like another one? It's always better when you got a pair. And bye-bye. I mean, you could have walked away at any time. Anyhow. Yeah, we're not going to talk about any kind of moral. Okay, let me pick up the damn leaves. I have to move the platform so I can pick up the stupid leaves. Or do I have to have my chainsaw? I need to have my chainsaw for these ones. Fortunately, chainsaw right there. Wow, they even did an animation for these things. That's hilarious. They actually did an animation for the little ones. That tree, no. That tree just explodes, but the little ones, no, we get a fancy animation for those. That one's gonna nicely roll over. Here we go. See, look, again, I get fancy. As it tumbles over. Okay. So, we have a platform here for one of our handy-dandy little mine huts. So first things first, I have no miners on me, so I'm going to have to go grab and make a couple of miners. So we'll just go up here. We will grab a workshop. Put that right there. Don't care about anything else. We'll just grab the workshop for now, just so I can make a couple of portable miners. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well make a couple pair. There we go. That way I don't have to worry about it for a while. The fact that we can stack them now makes that actually worthwhile to do, to just keep a couple of them on you at all times. All right, so Mark II miner, let's try to get you pointing in the right direction, which is right there. Excellent. Let's go find ourselves our mining hut. That's going to be on the undefined mining hut. And doesn't matter where it ends up because we can infinitely nudge it. Your ratio. I knew him well. A man of infinite jest. It's the most random things that pop into my brain based on that word association. There we go. You know what? Think about the world that Shakespeare was writing about back then. Guys walking through a graveyard, picks up a random ass skull, asks, "Hey, who is this dude?" And, well, that's Horatio. Horatio? Really? I knew that guy. Great sense of humor. It's a skull. Like, kind of world that you could just casually go along, pick up a skull from some guy you knew back in the day. That's messed up, man. That is just messed up. All right, can I snap to something that's not a power pole? No, you're not gonna. You're gonna make me have to go into here and grab it myself, aren't you? Of course you are, you rotten bastards. Yeah, we can just go straight from here, from here to there. Let's make sure you're just cranking out all the coals like that. Unauthorized foliage. You know, it means you don't have to worry about things falling down and having your chainsaw. That. Okay. And up we go to the receiving end. So we are going to need a little bit of a sub-basement here. And we'll come off of these walls just because they're fun little walls. And then we'll drop down here and drop down there. We'll get stuck against a wall and start to feel like a fly trying to escape out of in front of a window. We'll just bounce off of it for the next 5 hours. And now we can fill in some floorage. Like So... where the hell do I want to take this? I don't know. Let's just start... Actually, honestly, I was just staring at these, putting in, and my brain just kind of completely wandered off. I think I started thinking about Star Wars and Andor. Like, wow, that was a pretty good show. And it was. Probably one of the better Star Wars. And that's one of the things I like about that whole line, is that George Lucas is a genius. I mean, George Lucas changed... He created an entire genre. He reinvented an entire genre. That genre, of course, being science fiction. So while he was making it, there you can just, everyone's got stories, especially Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is got nothing but stories. The man just loves his stories. And it's funny, if you actually go back to when he was doing the press circuit for the first Star Wars movie, so he's, 1978, and he tells some of his stories, he's got the same freaking stories now, and it's a little bit adorable, because he tells the story so earnestly, and he uses his voice. He's actually a really good storyteller, but I just, I've heard this story, he said in 1977, repeated in 1917 or 2017. And no doubt in 2027. And if he lives to 2077, it'll still be doing it. But you listen to the stories they're telling him, is basically, and Harrison Ford was even, it's like, it's a freaking shit science fiction movie. Stop taking it seriously. Like Hamill was, he's a young actor still. He hadn't been completely and utterly disillusioned by the industry. So he's asking these questions and stuff, and Lucas is just like, why are you bothering me, kid? Go away. And Ford is just like, kid, it ain't, as one of Hamill's stories, kid, I need that kind of movie. If people are paying attention, we're screwed, or something to that effect. Like with the whole Harrison Ford imitation, everything. So yeah, science fiction was never taken seriously. Like the crew did their jobs; they were professionals. 100%, they were professionals. But they were working on what to them essentially was, a Doctor Who episode. At best, it'd be like working on Doctor Who, whereas, you don't take the material seriously. It's not going to change the world. It's just going to tell an hopefully entertaining story. But honestly, it's for kids. It's bubblegum. You might as well have, and in fact, they had puppets on the screen. And now, way we look at science fiction, we have people actually taking it way too seriously. I'm looking at you, Zack Snyder. Your freaking Netflix shows were absolute trash, man. You literally tried to take Star Wars and make it into something serious. Dude, quit filmmaking. It's gonna be a hot take here, but he is a shit storyteller. He doesn't know shit all about actually how to tell a story. He sucks. He's a crap director. He's an amazing cinematographer. I'm going to give him the credit that he is absolutely due. He is an amazing cinematographer. He's a shit storyteller. A director's job is not to have really great shots. Why doesn't that line up anymore? I think I broke something. A director's job is to tell the story in a clear, concise, easy manner, not to lose the audience. It is not about setting up, we should have some more slow-mo grain picking. Every shot is beautiful, but they're trash. They don't do anything narratively. They're literally doing nothing narratively. Can I get that? I don't know where my other one went. So, yeah, Snyder is a shit director. I'm glad he got fired from the Superman movie. I am looking forward to seeing the James Gunn movie. James Gunn knows how to tell a story. He is a storyteller. He's got other people that help him with getting his beautiful shots and stuff to tell the visual story, but he doesn't have to work, he understands that it's not just a visual story. There is an actual story involved in telling, doing a movie, which means it has to read normally. And of course, I also, J.J. Abrams, that man should never be allowed near anything again. He killed damn near murdered, this is how we come back to Andor. The only reason I think Star Wars even has any kind of following at this point in time is because of things like Andor and Rogue One, especially Andor. Andor just crushed it. I'd say Ahsoka, whatever her name is probably the second most because it hits the right nostalgia tracks for people who grew up on the Clone Wars. But the key thing is people who grew up. It is still nostalgia for childhood. And no problems. George Lucas, this is why we got onto George Lucas, absolutely says that Star Wars was made for kids. That's why things like The Phantom Menace and people were all like, this is just ridiculous. This sucks, man. What is this Jar Jar Binks character? And George is just like, dudes, it's not meant for you, you bloody adults. It's meant for your children. Star Wars has always been for the kids because that's what inspired Lucas, is him as a kid watching the serialized Buck Rogers and Flash Gordons that he grew up with. How they made him feel, and that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to bring that to a new, younger generation. I just happened to be at the perfect age for that first breaking. 1977, I was 10 years old. Literally, Star Wars was made for me and my fellow kids at that age, because it 100%. That's right, that's where I wanted that wall. Because the reason it stuck with us is because it was made for us, specifically. Whereas things like The Phantom Menace, were made for the next generation of 10-year-olds. And that's why there is such a thing, is that, you get the next generation after mine, so you get into like the 30s and 40-year-olds, the ones that were born in 1987, so that when in 1997 or 2000, early 2000s, when was The Phantom Menace released? So let's do a quick search here. Now that I'm chasing this, Phantom Menace, 1999. So basically anyone born in the late 80s, so, millennials and stuff, Phantom Menace, that generation tends to like The Phantom Menace. It's like, yeah, that trilogy was that, the best and whatnot. And we're all going, oh my God, Jar Jar Binks. No, I don't mind Jar Jar Binks. I try not to get too, wrapped up in my own identity into movies and stuff like that. But, that be that as it may. Jar Jar Binks was just C-3PO with floppy ears. That's literally the job. I mean, what's the difference between Jar Jar Binks and CPO? Accent. They serve the exact same purpose. So people are shitting on Jar Jar and getting all up in arms about Jar Jar. Okay, that's my generation doing that. Guys, shut up. Just shut the hell up. We have nothing to carry, we have no reason to have this superiority complex that a lot of those particular groups do about Jar Jar, because we had C-3PO. There is absolutely no difference between C-3PO and Jar Jar as character types. Not necessarily the same character, but character types. There is a purpose that each one of those two is serving in the narrative sense. And this again goes back to George Lucas, borrowing very heavily from, I believe it's Kurosawa, and the Seven Samurais. In a lot of Kurosawa's, or was it, no, the Hidden Castle, I believe it was. In the Hidden Castle, there's two characters, secondary characters, whose only purpose is to be comedy relief. Where have we seen that in any of George Lucas's properties back in the day? Oh, wait, it's C-3PO and R2-D2. They're fulfilling those characters. So we come 20 years later, 22 years later, apparently, and we now have Jar Jar Binks. We don't have C-3PO and R2-D2, but now we have Jar Jar, who's filling in for both of those. And eventually Anakin, I think, actually becomes the R2-D2 character at some point. But, you know, otherwise Jar Jar is the accumulation of R2-D2 and C-3PO. All right, so where was I starting from in the first place? No freaking clue beyond the fact that Andor changed Star Wars. Yep, completely forgot my original point. So, anyway, rant and rave. Oh, yeah. But I think it all started with the fact that Schneider is a shit director. And yeah, that's right, because I was moving on to my favorite target. Schneider is only my second favorite to shit on. JJ is much worse because, like I was, yeah, and that's what brought up Andor and the diatribe, is that if it wasn't for Andor and maybe a bit of Ahsoka, who's just, again, for the nostalgia's sake, JJ pretty much killed Star Wars. He killed Star Trek. The Star Trek franchise, theatrical Star Trek franchise, had a run since 1967, and he shit all over it. He sabotaged it. I swear to God. I don't know why anyone thought giving him a freaking franchise was a good idea. The man sucks. He has no freaking clue of what it means to be a storyteller. This is the idiot that stood on a stage, and I mean idiot, like my visceral despising of him as a director. I don't give three shits about him as a human being, whether he's a bad human being, good human being. I'm looking at you, Joss Whedon. Great storyteller, especially character storytelling. Speaking of, franchises, Whedon, basically gave the MCU Firefly, Buffy. Turns out he's a piece of shit as a human being, but great director, great storyteller. I'm not going to forgive, he's from a different era no, he's a piece of shit, sexist son of a bitch. And as a human being, he is a failure. But as a filmmaker, he's good. He knows how to tell a story. J.J. Abrams doesn't, because J.J. Abrams is suffering from this delusion that he went to a magic store. He saw a thing called a mystery box. It was one of those schlocky 1950, kind of kids magic tricks where it's all in the gadget, which, by the way, most magic tricks are all about the gadget. Doesn't matter who the illusionist is, it's the gadget they're working. If they're working with a gadget, with a prop, with a cabinet, it's all in the cabinet. They don't even need to be there, to be honest. In 1988, I went across country with a magician show. I met a lot of magicians because, I was doing that I was in that world for a little bit, and I had to do a lot of repairs on various components. But yeah, so it's all about the cabinets and stuff like that. But So Abrams went into a magic shop, saw this thing called the mystery box, didn't know what was in it, and he thought that somehow was a good basis to form his philosophy on how to tell a story. You've got something in the box, you don't know what it is, your imagination can run wild, and you never actually look. That is the opposite of how you tell a story. You do not make the audience make their own damn story. You can make an audience work to understand the story. Perfectly fine. That's your average mystery. What was the one with Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman in like 1988? Not A Few Good Men. It was also stars Sean Young. Remember I was talking about Bruce Willis earlier and forgetting names? This is where I usually forget names as the titles of things. What was it? Gene Hackman. Kevin Costner movie. No Way Out. Yeah, great movie. By the way, if you've never seen No Way Out and you like a kind of it's an amazing movie. It's one of the few movies where the audience left the theater in silence. Not because it was bad, because they were just stunned. Like I was stunned. Great movie, great ending. Beautiful. That's storytelling. That is not shitting on your audience and respecting your audience. And that's the thing that really, I think, pisses me off the most about both Abrams and Schneider, is that they don't respect us. They're not making movies to tell us stories and to entertain us. They're doing their own they're like little boys that have their own toys. They want to play their toys their way, regardless of how the toys are supposed to be or the characters of the toys. It's like essentially turning G.I. Joes. Let's play them like they're Mutant Ninja Turtles for some reason. And then not letting anyone else have any input into the thing. They must have sucked playing as kids. No, it's my way or the highway. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home. Rowan, tell us how you really feel. Can't stand those two. And then you get people trying to defend him who have no freaking clue because he uses slow-mo. It looks cool. It must be good. Just no. No, and every day, no. Okay, so in the meantime, I've been doing that. I have managed to get everything hooked up. I even did some decorative stuff. Now all I need to do here, what I need to do next is I do need to get some power lines going down to that end. And I think we'll do that utilizing our blueprint here. Use the 45. I'm going to tuck this in right there. We'll come down to here. And I'm going to tuck you in right there. Okay. So now we can stretch you back. You can connect to there. There we go. Those two are hooked up. I'm going to pop through the floor here, because I need to make a ceiling mount right there. Close that off now. And we are going to grab, not you, but we're going to grab a double-sided so that we can pop you out that little wall right there. And there we go. And down to here. Okay. I just need a single. It's trying to put another double in there because it's trying to be helpful. As much as, Satisfactory and Coffee Stain have done an amazing job, there's still a couple of things that are, it's 99% of the way there. All right. We have power flowing. Did you... That's kind of a trippy reflection there. Just my hands are reflecting. And not even my hands, just the remote, the controllers. Vampires. Okay, cool. Driving into... and filling our station. Yes, perfect. Okay, and it looks like we're hitting up the old 12 o'clock 3-hour marker there. We've kind of got this done. That's seems like a half decent place to stop. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We are going to carry on. I might do some kind of poking around, getting everything moving up there. I might finish off the casings. You guys let me know if you want me to finish them off camera or save it for on camera. Leave it, guys, let me know what you like to see. What do you prefer to see? Do you want to hear more of me ranting randomly about geek stuff? Because I got a million of them. I'm an old geek. I've been a geek since before it was cool to be a geek and a nerd. D&D in 1983 in the nurse's room. That's the level of geek I am. So if you want to hear more rant and raves about geek stuff and whatnot, or my opinion on geek stuff, believe me, I got lots of them. Leave a comment in there. Let me know if that's the kind of thing that you like. If you want me to shut the hell up about it, let me know that too, and then we can have a discussion on that. Leave a comment is what I'm saying. Hell, while you're down there leaving a comment, maybe go ahead and leave a like on that. But that is going to do it for us today. Thanks once again for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Hopefully, again, you were entertained. I am trying to tell a bit of a story here as well. Can I get the heck out of that screen, please? There we go. I want that. What else do I want? I want... Who the hell knows what I'm doing? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, there we go. But that's all it is for today. Thank you for watching today. Let me try this in the actually English language now. That would be pretty awesome. You know what? Be good, be safe, and have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.